Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have out there in the void of space tonight? Once again, I'm joined by Aaron.
Hello everyone. A lovely intro as usual, Joel. There, it always puts a smile on my face.
Oh man, it is good to be back. And Aaron, it's good to see you. I saw Aaron in person not that long ago as well. Was an honor. We went for a walk. It was very nice as always. I got some. I actually forgot what we did, to be honest. It was such a blur.
It was great, wasn't it? We had a little walk out. We had a lovely meal. We had some sort of local dish.
Oh, there
potatoes
you go.
and chicken.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
So yeah, there was. You guys may have saw a little bit of this from Marek's Dev Diary, but there was we had kind of a team building. The Keen had a week. I've lost track of time. Last week now, I think. So it was good stuff.
It was very good. Basically, it's a great way of the team connecting, discussing different ideas, planning some things for the future, and also getting to see your colleagues in person, especially when working remote. So it was a great experience, and it's going to progress the work so much faster with the discussions that we've had as well.
And I'll say it kind of leads to another kind of ad that if you guys are looking for a future opportunity, to always keep an eye out for the job listings and consider joining the team, because the team grows stronger and stronger, and the work becomes more epic with each passing week.
It sounded like the Force then, didn't it? A little bit, like join the dark side.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it felt like.
Join the Clang side. Exactly.
There will be some more applications open in the future, and we've got an amazing community full of really talented individuals. So if they do apply, then I'm sure they definitely get some exciting interest.
No, for sure. And I say, like, there's so many people who've actually been a community member and have later joined the game. So I'm looking out the chat now. I'm seeing all the names. It's great to see you. Let me just name out a few. I see Duke, All, Lieps, Michael, Drew, Polish Tech, Tedder, Thorsken, Firo, Sleed, Pro, Ami, Karmak, Hando, Ada, Rick, to name a few. Just a few there. Who all these could be potential future colleagues. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I didn't think I'd be on this side of the microphone, to tell the truth, and now here I am.
It took 10 years, but we got there. We got you in the end. Oh man! But how are you guys doing? I feel like it's been a while, because it has been 2 weeks actually. Because I say last week, I actually, you know what? Well, I'll tell you what. Last week I was a little unwell, and I think Aaron was probably, traveling back from the week. So
I was traveling, trying to organize bits and bobs and posts on the road, and it was just a little bit too packed to get back and get on this stream with you. So I apologize for missing that one, because I'm sure it would have been very epic indeed if we would have managed to get one done.
I know, actually, it's true. I was always hoping that it was going to be a longer trip, and we could have done also, something in person would have been cool, but there'll be another time.
Yeah, exactly. One day we'll show up in the blue screen mode together somewhere.
Exactly. I'm surprised it's never happened, actually. Oh, no, wait, hold on. It did. Am I tripping? On the SE2 release, wasn't it? We were together on the stream.
Yes. We managed to get a stream together, but I think we ideally need one back in the studio, like we did with Marek. And we can really get some nice details and points across and show off some of the latest features. Talking about features, though, make sure you do tune in next Monday, because we've got something very exciting, haven't we?
Yes, we do. Now, have you guys heard the news? I wonder, Aaron, has it penetrated the how to word it? The I don't know what I was going to say there. the news feed.
maybe not say that. No, it's. I would definitely say, with the information that has hit the news feed today, they are very well aware that there is something big coming Monday, and there's also a lot of hints of exactly what it is. So, no one's really in the dark. I guess we could go into a little bit more detail, but it'd be probably better to save it till Monday with the release, so that we've got all the details to cover there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have known. Yeah, this is just some not those things, but you guys have known that we've been working towards the next Space Engineers update, and Space Engineer 2 update, sorry, and that of course is 1.5. So that will bring modding, and modding is going to be huge. I mean, I think we know how big the modding is with Space Engineers 1, and Space Engineers 2 is a whole nother level in terms of both the potential of modding, but also how easy it is to mod, right, Aaron? And that's been a big part of it.
Because the thing I'll just quickly touch on now, because I don't want to go into too much because we'll be going through it all on Monday, is modding in Space Engineers 2 is so much more easy to get into. Like, if you've not experienced modding, or you tried to mod in Space Engineers 1 and you struggled, the barrier to entry is a lot easier. You can build the mods, you can build what you want. Even in Splitsy's video, Splitsy hasn't really particularly done a mod before. You'll see him building his first block mod, and it's almost like an easy gateway now into making your own mods. And I know a lot of players wanted to do it, so having the accessibility there is going to be absolutely key. And putting your own mod together is beautiful.
Yeah, and I think have you guys watched the videos that were posted about it yet already from some of our creators? I'm just curious. If their thoughts saw Splitsy's video as well. So that's I mean, this is huge, and obviously a big help, honestly, from some of the community guys for kind of helping to get this news out. But it's big. It's going to be big. But we'll talk more about it on Monday, because this is an SE1 stream, and I don't want to yap too much. I want to get into some showcase, because I know, Aaron, I'm not sure actually if we actually got in another SE1 showcase together, since we said, oh yeah, we got to spend some time doing showcase.
I feel like this is it. This is the SE1 showcase that I need in my life. So we've brought some exciting things to the table here, and the players are going to be able to jump in and bring some cool ships in.
So I think the only thing to do, to be honest, is I'm just checking here, because I don't want us to spend too long on it. I wanted to go over roughly. Was there any other news you really wanted to share today, Aaron? There's some SE. I mean, I know there's SE2 news, but we should say about SE1 as well. I mean, some of you guys may have seen the latest newsletter that came out a couple of days ago. So you also should be well aware that, you know, we are working towards the next great update for Space Engineers 1, update 207, which will bring big changes to survival, environmental hazards, food. So this is still very much on, guys. The team is cooking that very hard, and you know, this is in parallel, of course, to Space Engineers 2 development. So I say the same things every week, but there has never been a better time to be a Space Engineers player. There is stuff coming left, right, and center. Isn't that right, Aaron?
Exactly. And in addition to that as well, if you have been following our social media, we have been releasing some of our atmospheric sort of effects for planets that a team are still work in progress for. So we're talking about the cloud formations, the different times of day, the different environmental settings, and we've been showing these in a combination of screenshots that you've seen in the blog post, but also in some of the videos that you might have seen on TikTok and Instagram as well. So if you have seen them, definitely have a look at the detailing. The team are going into some fantastic levels of creativity to get the clouds looking and the light transferring through them as effective and as beautiful as possible. They are really immersive environments to be in.
Definitely. I mean, and that's it. I mean, I was going to bring up. Let me bring up really quick, guys. We're not too late yet. We've only been going for like 5 minutes here. So give me a second here. And of course, while I bring this up, did you guys see the decorative shower block for Space Engineers 2? The next of our weekly releases. So that was obviously. I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. Just before the stream, me and Aaron were talking about some of the comments and reactions to the decorative shower block. Surprise?
It caused the biggest discussion that I read into that surprised me was people discussing about their shower pressure, and then it led off into a side quest where people were discussing how to get a better, shower head to get better pressure on the shower. That made me kind of giggle. But apart from that, there was lots of questions about the functionality. People were talking about the vents on the back. Could you plug water into it? But it is purely just a decorative block for the moment, anyway. But it's a lovely decorative block. The glass goes and blasts off when you rip it apart. It's got a lovely shower head. It's got some dispensers for whatever shampoo or space shampoo you're using. And to be honest, it would be very interesting to actually see water coming out of it in a space environment. Of course, you need some gravity, but even without gravity, I think it would just make for something very unique and beautiful. But yes, still a decorative block.
Well, I'm just bringing up here Marek's dev diary from. This was last week because I just wanted to bring this up. So yeah, just quickly summarizing what we said. There was a week of team building at the office here. so we can see all the whole team here. There was a lot of people. We got a nice team shot at the end here as well.
Yep.
You can spot me and Aaron here.
Yeah,
the
you said we'd be right in
British
the middle.
British gang. There you go.
We ended up right in the middle, didn't we?
Exactly.
By
there you
pure
go.
accident. Well, the hardest bit about this one, guys, as well, is they didn't tell us which camera to look at. There was 2 cameras, so whichever camera we looked at, we got it wrong.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, they did pretty well. They did pretty well. I'm looking off here, but you know, there was a drone, wasn't it? This was a drone shot, wasn't it? Yeah. But so this was the this was the stuff we wanted to show, and again, it's a great advertisement. I really think for once again for joining our team maybe in the future. But coming down here, this was what Aaron was referring to, talking about some of the environments of Space Engineers 2. So check it out, guys. Look at this.
Yes. Beautiful.
Look at the clouds. Look at how like the kind of like the rays of light piercing through the clouds here. And the cliffs, and just like the overall landscapes here, and the kind of the flora. Got some different.
Just to bring that immersion, really, isn't it? Like, it's far better building within an immersive sort of environment. If you're building like I could just every time I see a cliff shot like this, I don't know if this is the same for you, Joel, but I imagine building a base on the cliff here.
Oh
and
yeah,
I've got my ships going out from it and whatnot. Like, it just makes me get excited for the future, especially the reflection of the sun, the sort of sunset on the clouds. How the clouds have gone orange.
Oh, here, yeah,
on
this one here.
The light. Yeah, there's so much.
It's crazy. It looks so good. And I say, guys, like obviously 1.5 coming on Monday, modding, it's huge. And from a community point of view, this is going to really, I think, how to word it, like I say, enrich the kind of SE2 community ecosystem. That's a long phrase there, but really it's, I really think that on Monday it's going to kick off another wave of kind of creativity for SE2. And but beyond that, of course, there'll be some weekly updates. There might be some smaller things here and there. But remember, in the roadmap, the next kind of really big thing is 2.0, which is planets and survival. So, definitely here.
If we scroll a little bit further, there's also one final thing just below the video on this post that is quite fun.
And look at this. We've got like a kind of got like a desert scene here. Different clouds, some different kind of flora as well. Very, very nice. And the
tessellation.
The tessellation,
well,
the terrain. That's a big one.
Shadows. Oh,
it's one of the biggest things, I think, to be honest, having that rather than having everything being super smooth. This is huge. And then again, just kind of this was the last thing we have here, which is the rolling shadows. So let's just play this video, and that'll be all the kind of little intro news here, and then we're going to jump onto the server. Oh, let me just mute this.
Oh, that's me putting music.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So here we go. I wonder how it loops, actually, because it's going to end and it's going to loop. There you go. So make that into a GIF.
Yeah, I think we've got some TikTok and Instagram versions that do tend to loop around like that.
Wow.
I mean, it's just stunning, isn't it? It looks photorealistic. Almost photorealistic.
But I think there's a lot of things going on, but I think immediately, like, these kind of clouds are a huge, huge step up. So, does it mean to stutter? I don't know. I mean, this is highly sped up and buoyed, but also work in progress. So take everything you see with a grain of salt, of course. So that was, I think, everything that I wanted to go over from Marek. This was last week, guys. So I think most of you probably caught this, but still, I wanted to.
You can't miss out on the clang juice, though. You can't miss out on the clang juice.
Wait, was that? I know, but hold on a second.
Yeah, that was just on the bottom, just a little bit lower below the video. The clang juice. Are you kidding me? Was there. Yeah.
Wait, no, it's not.
It's on my post. It is.
Oh, hold on a second. Maybe it's because I've zoomed in. Wait.
Because I know when the clang juice was posted, everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, this needs to be an in-game thing."
Is this on the website?
Yeah. I'm on the blog.
Oh, full blog post. That's the reason I'm on the Space Engineers 2 website rather than Marek's blog. Okay, let me scroll down again and we'll see this. I'll tell you I'll tell you the main reason. The main reason for using the SE2 website for on stream is because when you zoom in, The photos stay big on the SE2 website, but that's it. We can still show off here. Let's scroll down. There it is, guys. Check it out. Clang juice. 100% orange juice. Vitamin C.
There's some beautiful water and foam effects as well from the other posts.
I thought you were going to say from the orange juice. But
no. You know what? That would be a meme in itself, but it's just, it's stunning the work that's coming along and how far each of the projects is coming along, from the water to the new blocks that are being added. It's wonderful to see them progress rapidly.
No, for sure. I mean, I say it's both the whole team, but the kind of the sub teams of being, SE1, SE2, they are cooking, and they're cooking like mad. And that's why I say, like, I think some people right now are like really looking forward to the SE1 stuff. I mean, let me ask you guys, how's it been the last couple of weeks? Like, what have you guys been playing? Have you been playing SE1, SE2, or SE1 and 2? A combo. Let us know. In the meantime here, I will bring up the game and we'll jump on the server. And you're welcome to join me, Aaron, here. Let's have a look.
I'll see if I can. I'll have to get the passwords and whatnot.
Is it password? Let me check. It might be. I don't know if it was password at this time.
But no, it's been incredible. The last 2 weeks has been incredible, and seeing how fast the development of some of these features has progressed and everything. I mean, just going over the water itself, seeing the water turn from like a goo to this lovely foamy sort of substance that's now flowing over different things. Seeing the skybox change. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can hint at, like seeing some of the ships in the clouds and some of the systems that they're developing for that it's incredible, and I can't wait to present it to you in upcoming videos and when they're ready for it to be presented. The other thing that a lot of people are talking about is like, is there going to be like a significant performance drop on these things? But this is why they're developing it in such a way where the plan is to have it with a minor or if no performance impact at all. So it's just going to be a lovely smooth game to play. Of course, all these things need a lot of time to work and a lot of time on the back end of development. So as you see these very early work in progress sort of videos and screenshots, you might see some sort of performance impact there, but as the team rework it, then it's going to be a lot smoother as well.
Yeah. Yep. And I am loading in, Aaron. You should better join the server. It's actually
okay. I'll be connecting, but I'm also just watching all.
Oh, that's okay. If anything, you can. I know that's true, actually, Aaron. Or maybe in that case, if you want to focus on the chat, that would be maybe better. I don't know.
That,
I'll miss things.
I'll stay focused on the chat, and then we can answer or we can deal with things as they come up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so guys, I mean, we haven't, like, even last week I was yapping and playing a lot and stuff. So I feel like the last couple of streams we haven't answered a ton of questions. So if you guys have any questions before we start getting a bunch of stuff into the world, feel free to let us know if you have any vibes.
Yeah, we'll see what we can answer as well. Because remember, we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we need to pull on the developer, don't we?
I wish I had all the answers.
Like when Ryan was here and he was telling some of the insides of what was going on in development of Space Engineers 1. People were like, answer this question, answer that, and making it exciting and whatnot. So we'll see what we can do in terms of questions.
Well, I also saw Ayan in the chat. Ayan can also answer some questions, if they...
Perfect.
Secret keeper. Secret holder.
They've asked about the food update. The survival update is cooking.
Quite literally.
The survival update is cooking. You've seen some of the previews of the various different crops and things that you can harvest. If you haven't, I recommend you checking them out on the blog. If you're missing the blog, then you need to subscribe to the newsletter and you'll get all your information there as well. Update is cooking, and to be honest, it looks like it's going to be an extremely exciting one. I was excited about field work, but with the different foods, the different radiation, the other systems that are involved, I'm not going to go into too much detail of that stuff because you'll find out soon enough. But it's exciting. It's going to be great for your survival experience, and more importantly, you can turn them on and off. So if you don't want to have to deal with these extra levels of survival, no worries. You can play Space Engineers how you want to play it. That's
important. Like, another question for the chat here. I know it's going to probably clear it. Now, this is like making some assumptions that the fact that you actually don't know what exactly the implementation will be like. But no, hold on a second. What is that what I want to ask?
Are you asking the questions now, Joel? Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking the questions, but maybe I'm gonna decide. I decided not to ask it for now because I want to get some answer the questions that the chat has. So.
Oh, I'm loving this. Very industrial, whatever's being placed. And I like the pipes and that refinery tank up on the top there.
Yeah, are you seeing all this? Yeah, I mean, you're going to see it a bit delayed, but if... I don't know, this is all one creator, I believe. Let's see if I can see their name here. This is Oh, I should have known. I should have known it. Alzumi. They've also been waiting. I know they've been waiting for a little second here to showcase some stuff, but it looks like they've got like a modular base set here. There's like some roads. There's some different storage tanks. So something new here, but all very, very nice style. So
there's an interesting one popped up here. Someone said that there is there's room for so little players on an SE1 server. And you can do madness with the amount of players you can actually put on a server. If you've got your own private server, you can technically put in as many as you want, can't you?
Yeah.
Am I wrong there? Because on my private servers, I know that you can enter whichever. You can have 120 players if you really want to, or more than that.
But how many people do you often have there, Aaron? That's what I'm curious.
I would say, like, I would say in the prime of when we were doing stuff like this, I think you'd get up to maybe 48 to 50 players, and then any more than that, then it would start risk becoming unplayable. Just because there's so much going on, there's so many ships, there's so many people. But the other thing is if you're smart about it and you're running the right plugins and the right things, you can run really smoothly with tons of players in one area. It just depends how you configure the game and how much clang you want to do as well. Because if you're then throwing in loads of pistons and rotors and things into the equation, you're going to cause more simulation. But if you're having big ship combat and the ships are really relatively straightforward, you can have some great battles, especially with a good server or a good box.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you know what I haven't done for some years was like a stress test. I remember we used to do a stress test. This was probably 7-8 years ago, and we tried to get like as many engineers in one server as possible, and then we had like everyone digging down at the same time. Like stuff like this, it was nuts. Honestly, if you have like 60 players and go on.
Oh, the players are asking, can they join the server? Have we put out the password and details? Yeah.
The servers, guys, it's called a Het server. Just look for Hets.
Post it in chat and I'll repost it to them.
Yeah, I don't have the IP address.
Oh, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. I don't have the IP address to hand, but it's something called like Showcase. The world's called like Showcase Reload. And the server's called the Het server, but I don't actually have the IP. It's just in my history because it's always the same server, to be honest, guys. Wow. Yeah, and I can see Alzumi's being busy with this. I really would love to see this in like a full layout, and I can see they've kind of put down these different blocks. You know, T section, corner, straight of this like base. Oh, I just crashed. I think damage has turned off.
Yeah, it has come so far, Space Engineers 1. I think we discussed this roughly when we were in person as well, weren't we? We were saying, like, if you booted up some of the original game, you know, and then you booted up what you've been playing 5 years later, like, the game is, I wouldn't say unrecognizable, but it's definitely taken a direction where it feels complete and very playable. Like the stuff that you can do now in Space Engineers was the dream of the early players. Like when you could just build your first ship in single player and fly it around and have a little bit of a crash into things.
See, that is true, and I think I wish in some ways wish time travel was real. If we could go back to 2013, 14, 15, and like just show, like imagine like dropping a trailer of just like me flying around this game like now in 2025 with all the blocks and stuff and showing that to people in 20, like it would be like, I don't even know, it would be like absolute madness in terms of you wouldn't even believe it, you know.
Yeah, like everything's come along, and it's come along in little steps, and like if you weren't there for the little steps, it feels like just a big chunk of a game. And that's why Space Engineers 2's got lots of exciting little challenges ahead of it. Everything from, pistons and rotors to multiplayer to the planets themselves. But the development of Space Engineers 2 is moving incredibly quick, isn't it, Joel? Like the thing, if this was Space Engineers 1 timeline, like some of the things that have happened in that period would have took like 5 years, like someone said in the chat before.
Yeah.
Like, there was a much smaller team at that time, where now we've got a ton of people working hard, and the individual teams are focusing on their own projects, where they're then uniting them together at different milestones.
Yeah, I mean, so the shower was a key example of this. Like, how long did it take you guys to get a shower block in SE1? Now, I know this is only decorative, and you might argue, oh well, I'd rather have this before, but still, I think the point is that there's a lot of things going on with SE2, which are kind of working on in parallel. And I hope you guys are feeling, both in terms of timeline and speed, that, this is kind of addressing those comments that, I've seen where people are like, oh, it's going to take 10 years for SE2 to be as good as SE1 or something like this, But I strongly feel that's not going to be the case. And I think as soon as modding's coming, right? So that's going to be huge potential. But then, of course, planets and survival. This is obviously a huge gameplay area, right? We're on a planet right now, right? So that's obviously a huge playing area. And I don't know what percentage, I forget these days, but at least like 2/3 of people, mainly play survival. Believe it. Well, you guys might not know that, but it's around that, I think. It's more than 50-50, I think.
That's an interesting one to have a look at, really, because like verbally, a lot of people just play creative. But when you actually look at the statistics of things, most people who are playing the longer hours are playing survival. Because there's a lot of people who just like to build pretty things, and I understand that, and that is incredible. But there's also a lot of people who want to get together with their friends, and they slowly progress themselves through a survival scenario. In a lot of cases, they've got their own goals that they want to work to. They're either leaving the planet, or they've got to attack some base. And the more story and the more backbone they put into it, the more exciting that survival experience becomes. But yeah, it's definitely a good mix between the people playing creative and then people playing survival. But there's also a lot of crossover, because a lot of people build in creative for survival. So instead of like having to, go on the fly and sort of build a ship up, they'll build the ship in creative with everything available so they can make it perfect. And then they'll just print out in survival mode. I think there's a really good crossover there, Joel, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost like using creative as a bit of like a tool zone, so you can sort of like have like some games have a hangar where you can do maintenance and stuff to your ships. Our creative mode in some ways for the survival player is a place where you can build your ships, you can test out your design, and you can also do a lot of combat testing in the creative world before it reaches survival, because in survival, once you enter combat, we know that survival can be quite rough. There's a lot of battle in between players, there's lots of damage, and players can get a lucky shot on some area. So having your design combat tested as well is quite important.
No, that's going to be that's why still right now there's some fundamental, like, be it the building systems. That's why, and this comes back again to the kind of thing where, like, the reason that SE2 came out when it did was really so that everyone can be involved in the process and have feedback on each system as it's being added. And I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but for sure there has been changes and adjustments made because of the existing community feedback. So it's very important. I mean, yeah. So
as we've been watching the feedback as well, we notice what are like the hot topics of players, and like the hot thing at the moment, and it probably will be for a while, is players wanting pistons and rotors.
Yes.
But also there's loads of other hot topics. Like, the other thing is to identify, and I want all the players out there to realize this, is the very particular thing that you want will be very different to the people that you know and play with. Like just in the chat there, we've had, has there been any thoughts about gunsmithing, workbenching, workbench, you know, for overhauling hand tools? Like that's another really cool idea. But for that player, that's their sort of want and thought of desire. They've got an idea and is like, oh, it'd be cool to be able to upgrade weapons and tools. And I think a lot of other players would agree with them, but a lot of other players would put that idea differently. Oh, I'd like a system like, you know, like Crisis, where you look at the gun in your hand and you can clip suppressors and different weapons onto it.
That was cool, yeah. But I feel like it only came out yesterday.
Yeah, so a lot of players have these visions, and they have a very niche vision of it, and they want that particular feature. And sometimes we lean towards that, and we give players to a degree what they want. But other times, they need to stick to the design and stick to the plan, so that they don't get, sort of, I would discuss it as like a feature creep. Yeah. You've got to stick to your plan when it comes to developing a game. Otherwise, if you keep adding everything in, then you're never going to ever finish it.
But I think this discussion applies to SE1 as well, and I think I see Danilo asking, can you talk about the next up for SE1? I mean, it leads back to that, like, even right now, there's a lot of features that I wanted for SE1, and I also feel that some of the direction and priorities that we made were because of the community feedback. Like, so for example, like the biggest one being like weapons. When you guys really wanted weapons, that was the we had the 2 warfare updates, and then after that, sure, people wanted more weapons, but there was a good amount of stuff to play with. And then suddenly it was like, we want more, like, better AI and stuff like this. So it's always.
I think, Keen, and also we've been really chill with the weapons thing as well, haven't we? Because we know, like, giving the players weapons is like an instant win, and it makes players very happy. But we've gone, hey guys, we'd like you to do some engineering as well, engineer some of your own weapons as well, because that's been like Marek's vision from the very beginning. He's like, oh, I want players to engineer. So we've got to think of the balance of the focus. The more guns we give you to blast each other, I mean, even with the latest warfare update with the railgun and stuff, lots of players were like, oh no, the balance is off now. I can't use my gravity propelled projectile when someone's just got a railgun that can snipe me from really far. So like, weapons is a massive win because everyone loves weapons, including myself. It's the first thing that I gravitate to.
I remember the videos, Aaron. I remember the LSG videos.
Yeah, but I think that's the same with a lot of players in the community, that as soon as they get new weapons and new capabilities, they want to build them. And we see this every year now, where a player will it's like lost. It's actually fascinating, this. I don't know if you've noticed it as well. Is there, like, a player loses information? It's like lost history. They forget how to build a particular weapon, and it goes undercover for like years or a month, and then all of a sudden that weapon comes to the surface, either for a YouTube video or something else, and then players start building it again. I think we've got to be distracted. We're not looking around. We need to be looking at these creations.
That's true. Yeah, it was fine. We're trying to. I definitely want to have some. Yeah, if the admins in the server could clean up some stuff as we look at things, just so we can get new things in and keep performance nice. Not everyone, I know, and Brian Edda, I just calling out. Brian Edda is like very much like they see weapons, they quit. So not everyone. Some people prefer the peaceful life, It's true.
That's a whole other debate, isn't it? That's an interesting one, because I think this will get them giddy and thinking. Like, there's a certain amount of players who want to build and spend all the time building, and you've spent all the time building, printing, collecting the resources, that you'll build a ship and it'll sit there pretty in your base and you'll never take it out. And there's lots of games that have this. Is like Escape from Tarkov and other things. Like, it's called like a gear fear, where you spend so much time, collecting or building, that you don't want to use it. So there's always needs to be a trade-off, and that's part of the server host or whoever's running the servers for you guys, to kind of balance that in their own mind. Go on.
On the flip side of this gear fear. Now, who is guilty of this though, guys? Who is guilty of this? You've built a bunch of stuff. You've got could be any game, not just Space Engineers. You've gathered tons of loot. You've it could be Rust, DayZ, whatever. And yeah, you're scared to go out. You're scared to do things with it. But then before that even happens, you just kind of stop playing the game. So it's a very fine balance between sometimes just do it kind of thing, or even a survival server, like you spend a bunch of time like, oh yeah, I can't lose this and that, and then maybe the survival server comes to an end, or maybe you decide to stop playing. So on the other side, you don't want to just kind of like always just going guns blazing and not really caring and preparing. But man, I've definitely had that where I've been like, I've spent so much time just like, oh yeah, I've got to protect all my stuff. And then, yeah, in the end, it was like, you know, in a sense for nothing, you know, that fear was for nothing.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, really, isn't it? But I feel a lot of people would like, you know, some easy encounters that they can, because I feel like if you slowly build them up with using that thing, it's a bit easier. But the problem is players versus players. That both players want to win, and you can't beat that to a degree. Like there's no, oh no, I've messed up, eject button, and then I mean you could jump drive out to a degree unless your jump drive gets blown to pieces. But a lot of smart players will try and target that first. PvP in Space Engineer is a complex game, and to learn it, you have to spend a lot of time getting your stuff blown up, and I know that is an off-put for a lot of players.
Well, and that's why there's always single player as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. But I always enjoy a lovely co-op experience, just hanging out with a few friends, doing some building, taking out, especially with all the AI outposts that we've got now and the encounters, you can have a really chill and fun survival experience where you don't risk losing a ton of things by playing just with your friends or by yourself in the single player sort of world. That mech is amazing though.
No, I know. Do you like this? I've just been doing some panning shots here, but let me find out who it's by. I haven't got all the names today. Let's have a look. This one is by Dread Mechanic. So big shout out to Dread Mechanic, because this, I actually wasn't sure. We have a whole mech builders club in the SE community, and I actually didn't know it was going to be Dread Mechanic, but it is mighty impressive. It's your time to shine, Dread Mechanic. If you got some features of this mech you want to showcase, please do. But visually, it's incredible.
Ooh, here's a hot take. Gravity drives kill fun PvP.
Wow.
Ooh, that is a hot take. I have to see what people think in
response to that. What do you guys
that.
think? You have like the freedom. You have like freedom lovers, I guess, and you have like, you know, fairness. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? Because you know, some would say, "Oh, well, it's in the game, so you can do whatever you want with it." You know, others would say, "Oh, you know, it's kind of cheesing tactics."
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do with the jump drive and jumping away and then shooting, and then there's also, I think jump drives would be a good way of getting away when your ship's been absolutely crippled, because I know some people want to finish people off, but I mean, if you finish them off, the chance of them returning and playing with you again is a lot less.
Yeah.
Where if you like this, as funny as this sounds, if you let your enemy get away, even though they're critically damaged, right, they will come back and fight you again, and you'll get another amazing battle. So when people are engaged in these PvP scenarios in the future, have a think. Notice, you know, if I win, what would be the chance of getting another fight like this? And then, oh right, if I help this other person rebuild, or you know, offer some sort of mutual respect, then you're going to see that fight again happen. If you don't, then the player will probably stop playing, and you won't see them for the rest of that server, or they'll go somewhere else. But yeah, it's better to make friends, because it's funner to fight friends than just fight people, you know, in general.
I know we're bouncing around topics here, guys. We always do, because there's always too many things to talk about on these streams. I see Sleed talking about, I think referring to, SE2. So, yeah, I just want to address this. Actually, I see it here by 5150 Gaming. Yeah, so it's really important to note with SE2, right, guys, is that I think we appreciate that if you dive into SE2 and you're like, this is going to be SE1 times 2, like, you know, right off, of course, I think that, you know, that's where you might be disappointed in some ways, just due to the feature and block set. But you have to look at SE2 as the foundation for the this next generation, this next decade of space engineers, and be that the performance, the technology, the build systems, the graphics, all of these things, that it's always been about having a strong foundation. And it has come back to this thing where we didn't actually plan on having this as like a tagline or whatever, but I think it was Marek's spontaneous thing on the launch stream. But really, we've always said, like, you know, to not buy Space Engineers 2. Except if pause, dramatic pause. The whole point is if you want to be a part of this, be a pioneer and be a part of this journey from the beginning, to give us feedback as the game grows. And I think that's
some elaboration. Need some elaboration there, because I think another key thing here is Marriott wanted people to be able to jump in and play the game from the start, just like in Space Engineers 1. Because with Space Engineers 1, the sort of feedback that the players gave us was critical in shaping the game. And for players to be able to get in at the start of Space Engineers 2, see the direction development, make comments, provide feedback, allows them to shape the game with the developers. So yes, there's not tons of features in there. If you're a builder, you can jump in and start building and get stuck in. But I say the same time next year, Space Engineers 2 will look like a completely different game. And then we'll have another set of feedback from people saying, oh, water or something else, like we need to add this or we need to add that. But the game from that point then to this point will be completely different. We'll be seeing planets, we'll be seeing all these beautiful mods that players have created. So for the moment, Space Engineers is just for the builders, like we said, and we always recommend that digging into it, when the features that you want become available.
Yeah. I mean, and Commander Exorcist says the level of transparency of SE2 and its state is next level. No illusions what it is and where it stands right now. Excited for the future. I appreciate that, Commander Exorcist. I mean, and that's the mission. Like,
that is the mission.
And no way are we trying to pretend SE2 is something that it's not. We really tried, guys. We really tried from day one, from the moment we announced it, exactly every single feature that was in the game and all the features that weren't in the game. This is what it is. This is the plan for the future. So I hope you guys, or at least I hope nearly as many people as possible feel this way, that even if you aren't playing SE2 right now, maybe if you haven't bought SE2 right now, you can see that the team is trying really hard to be transparent and share the plans, share the new technologies that we're working on.
Because this is something, when I joined the team, this is something I really wanted to push for with Space Engineers 2. And it's because I have sat on the same side of the fence that you guys have, and I've wanted to know what's happening next, where things are going. And for instance, we really wanted a roadmap. And once I found out that Space Engineers 2 had a roadmap, it made the transparency journey so much clearer. Letting you guys know what's ahead on the future of Space Engineers 2's development just makes it such a smooth progress of saying, look, guys, we're working through this stage now, we'll be at that stage sometime soon, and when we get there, that might be an interesting time to get in on the project. But yeah, transparency is something we're going to be sticking to, and we're going to be making sure to deliver as much information as possible. And at the same time, always check our videos and posts where we're putting little tags of work in progress, just like the water was a few months back. It was still work in progress. Look at the water now, it's changed and evolved. The same with everything that we post. Sneak peeks and leaks into the future are all really hot work in progress, stuff that's pretty much fresh off the press. So things will even change in that department there as well.
I also hope that, I think guys, even if you are in this position, I think it's not going to be too long before you're going to be like, holy moly. I really think when the planets drop, and especially when water drops, when volumetric water drops, because there is new technology, there's new things in SE2 immediately right now, but in terms of the new types of gameplay and new things that can be done, and not just in SE1, but in any game, to be honest. There are things about water, that volumetric water in Space Engineers 2, which I don't think people are even ready for. It's going to be absolutely nuts. I think when stuff like this comes, I think, hopefully this, people will... how to word it, I guess, start to feel even more this kind of generational change, if that makes sense, from a feature set side.
Yeah, well, because like we said, in a year or so time, both of these games, when they stand side by side, they'll be very different. But the most important thing is they feel like they belong together. Like Space Engineers 1 to 2 will be an evolution, but far better, 10 times better in every department. Where we're looking at the water, we're looking at the environment, just having a glance at them clouds, having a look at the tessellation of the terrain. You will feel far more immersed in what you're building in Space Engineers 2. And that's what we're really hoping for. We're hoping for a much better, stronger experience that you'll almost feel like you can live there. Some of the planets are beautiful. I'd happily live on some of them. I'm going to lose hours. I'm going to lose hours of my time building stuff on these planets.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was just a little bit, just addressing some comments here. Any more questions? It can be ideally SE1 related, just because we're playing SE1 today. I know there's always a crossover between the two games. But, yeah, any SE1 questions? I mean, just to recap the next update for SE1. Big changes to survival in 207. Environmental hazards, farming, food. Anything else you want to say on that for now, Aaron?
Well, it's only the stuff we touched on before, because
I know.
Like I always say this, right? We're much more hush about Space Engineers 1 than Space Engineers 2.
It's true, actually.
Because being a bit quieter about Space Engineers 1 allows us to build the excitement, and it also makes sure that the features that we're building in Space Engineers 1 are guaranteed, for the actual release. So we can hint at the sort of radiation aspects, because we've already talked about them. We can hint on the planters and just how beautiful the planters look. It'll be interesting, though, definitely see how food and enabling these additional settings, will affect your survival. It'll add extra layers for sure. I mean, especially when you're out in space and you're running low on fuel, what are you going to do, No, not so fuel. Well, fuel for the character, you could say. But it'll be very interesting to see how players manage these additional things, and also if we can integrate these into quest lines, or players who are building scenarios can now go, right, the player's going to have to get some food from this point, and integrate it into a survival scenario that they're building. It's going to add a lot more depth to the game for sure.
Anne's watching. I'm watching you. No spoilers. The snipers are on me again.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it because it's so good. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's so much more exciting when we drop the trailer, and then all the YouTubers jump in and enhance, zoom in. This pixel here says, it must be, a water storage device or something like that. I love that stuff, and I don't want to take that away from spoiling too much from Space Engineers 1. No, someone's asking for Cyberhounds too for
Cyberhounds. All right, give me an 07, guys. Let's see some salutes in the chat if you want to see Cyberhounds return in SE2. That would be a fun thing to be like the return of Cyberhounds, and they would be 10 times as vicious and as explosive-y.
I tell you, a massive. If we ever did like a pet update, and you could have a pet dog, like that would probably crash the whole of the Space Engineers community. To be so excited, to be able to adopt and follow, like you can do.
It would be fun.
Games, where you feed it and train it over time.
It would be fun. I think from like an engineering point of view, I know this again, guys. We're going to put the little disclaimer. We're getting into like how to word it, like
fantasy territory.
Yeah. But no, I mean, pets would be cute, but I'm thinking like, if you had like I don't know how to word it, like companion, I don't know, like robot, drone or something. Yeah, no, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
yeah, I know, but every time someone says companion, I just think of like companion cube, or it's like like a companion in Fallout. It's just a backpack. That's pretty much they're a backpack with a gun. So, like, I mean, yes, you want a bit of depth to your companion, I guess. But I mean, I guess it could also be a backpack. I mean, even if you could, like, this is proper fantasy territory. Like, imagine you could just point and order them to weld stuff up for you and things like that. I think the thing is, though, Aaron, is that we're laughing, but are we forgetting that for SE2, there will be NPCs? Yes.
And who knows what forms they may come initially or later in the future. The potential there is huge.
The players are going to use NPCs so badly, aren't they? They're going to be these poor NPCs. It's like, I've came into this lovely world. It's so beautiful. And he's like, what's my purpose? And then the player's like, you're a backpack, mate. You're just going to follow me around and hold cubes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. That is very true. Let's have a look here. So we got some people wanting Cyberhound. That's great. Love to see it.
So we've had a question as well about, I'll try and cover these, is getting into modding for SE1.
Yeah.
And like the best probably place to start for modding SE1 is on Steam. So there is loads of Steam guides made by some really advanced modders. So that's a good place to start. From there, YouTube as well. So you can have a look at modders. There's loads of modding. I have to say, watching modding videos on YouTube can be a little bit dry, but with learning anything, sometimes you just have to sit through it and bare your teeth and learn the new skill. But hopefully that'll get you started. Check out the Steam forums, check out the Steam area for our mods, so then the players will guide you through what to do. But there's also some great guides, so check them out.
For sure. And the Discord's always great as well. The Discord server.
Yes, very good. Yeah, we've got whole modding sections on the Discord as well, so check that out there as well. And there's even some veteran players on there that can help you guide your mods.
Yeah, we all about the Discord. Let me see. There's other questions here. There is. Well, I see a question from Mario. Any Poles to play SE1? I'm sure we got a lot. I think we got a significant Polish player base. But let me ask you guys, where are you viewing from today? Let's see which engineers representatives we're seeing here. Let's see how worldwide this stream is today. Let's have a look.
We definitely got some Americans in there, and I know I'm from England myself, so there's some in there as well. There's got to be a few Germans in there as well, guessing from the general popularity of space engineers.
UK, USA, UK, yep. UK, Germany, Norway, US, Netherlands, Poland, USA, USA, Poland. Actually, there is the Polish gang. Rise up. Kansas, Latvia,
Mexico as well.
Mexico, hell. Philippines, UK, Montana, Sweden, Scotland, Poland.
Wales there.
Hey, there you go. Hey, Netherlands. Very nice. Brazil, Denmark. Well, guys, just a bit of off-topic news. I will be visiting the Baltics the first time in the next couple of weeks here, so that I'm very excited because I've always wanted to go. And I'm going to go to the sea somewhere up there. I don't know where's the best spots. If anyone's up in the Baltics, let me know. But yeah, I saw Latvia. I'm thinking I'm planning to hit Latvia. So
you just do a bit of self-promotion here. You just slip a bit.
Yeah, slipping a bit. Yeah, you know it, dude. It's got to be done. Shameless. Aaron's closet.
No, to be honest, I've said like you need to stream that stuff. So if you do watch some of Joel's stuff, make sure you do check that out as well. And we'll force him to play some Space Engineers on the move as well.
Incredible. I'm biased towards Estonia myself. CZ. I'm actually surprised there's not been as many CZs in the chat today. Like we often have a good size Czech gang, but I'm not seeing too many actually. I see CGT Creatives from any other Czechs in the chat tonight. That's actually surprising. There's normally at least a couple reps.
We've seen a few pop up, yeah, but I think was it only one? Only one's popped up so far. What have we seen on the builds in SC1 so far? I've seen some beautiful cars being placed, and we're watching a man do some dancing.
In the backgrounds here, my multitasking is not good.
Because we've had like a 2 minute straight of dancing.
Well, let's have a look what other builds there are. I apologize I'm not getting all of the names here today, but I hope you guys watching are enjoying some of the stuff that we're showcasing here, because I'm not commenting on all of it, but there's all very, very, very nice stuff, as always, by our community. Transition perfectly to that jet. Look at that.
That's perfect. I love that zoom you did then. I don't know what you did. How did you enhance the zoom all of a sudden?
Oh, that's my hackers, man.
Oh, hacks. Oh, damn it.
No, don't tell anyone about that.
You have to be telling me these.
I know, but this is
a nice aircraft, that though.
I know, Aaron, you're a bit of a military nut, so this is going to...
Is it like an F-35 or something, is it?
No, I think it might be... Oh, for a second, I think it's something custom. Let's have a look. Megaton, but from the front, I was getting like... I don't know what I was getting vibes of, actually. I'm curious if it's built off something or an original. So Megatom here in the fighter jet. F-20. Yeah, F-22 was when I first saw it at the front. I was thinking F-22.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I think you might be right there. It does look more like it.
Had the wider. It was just because the thrusters at the back. But yeah, from the front, I was getting F-22 vibes. It's an F-15. F-22 had a baby. Custom F-22.
Oh, this is going to go off subject a little bit as well. Did you ever see the SE1 RTS mod?
I did. I played it. It was amazing. Me and you should play, Aaron, and we should battle each other.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get the community to build our units.
That'll be cool.
So they can pick either Team Joel, Team Aaron, and then we get them to build our units. And we could see which was most effective. We can have some classes, can't we?
It would be great, like, honestly, and that's like a whole thing. That could be a whole stream dedicated to the RTS mod, which is incredible. Someone in Space Engineers community made a mod that basically turns Space Engineers into an RTS game. It's just nuts. I'm surprised, to be honest, it's not even blown up. I'm talking about it more because for a second here, I'm like, you know, it slipped my mind, but like, damn, it exists. It's a real thing, and it's incredible.
Yeah, that's what I always think is a little bit sad about all the mods. Is sometimes, you know, they make a resurgence sort of thing, like everyone forgets about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this is the new hot, let's do this. But yeah, like I really fancy doing a bit of an RTS mod, especially, you know, playing with some community creations and, you know, make them into slots sort of thing. So we'll have a fighter slot, then they build that, and then that's what we use.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool thing. Definitely a good stream idea right there.
Attack the D point. Exactly. Now, I got Bob in the chat talking about Skibbity.
No.
For a second, can anyone translate?
Was that
Skibbity
in itself? You getting bogged.
What's that?
Was that like a little pun there itself?
No, I don't know. No. I don't know. I just read some. Is it like? I don't even know what you call that language. Hey, Numb Charlie, what's going on? Oh, did I tell you guys? I'm not sure I told you. I got a PS5. So I am joining the PlayStation gang. Any PlayStation players in the chat? Maybe we're going to have one of these streams and we'll like set it up and I'll just be on my couch playing it, you know, playing Space Engineers on PS5. It'll be a PS5 PlayStation only sesh. I'm curious. I haven't played it yet. All I've played is this like racing game. I don't know what it's called. I forget the name of it now, but it's Trackmania, I think it's called.
Oh, see, I always struggle. Like, how can people play Space Engineers on a console?
Wow.
I'm so used to PC. Like, there's so many buttons. Like, if you're like a rocket scientist if you're playing on console because you've worked it out how to do it.
You know what's
like,
crazy as well? You know, we saw that mech earlier, Aaron. I saw someone from the Xbox community. They built like a massive mech that I forget what it exactly did, but it was unbelievably impressive, and it was all done on Xbox, which is fine. But it was done with a controller. Like I can't even like. I think obviously, if you're very proficient with a controller, why not? I think I'm just such a noob with any kind of, you know, be it Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. Like, for me, like, running around and doing maybe some survival stuff isn't, but honestly, I have to give props to those playing on console with like a controller because, yeah, there's the keybinds and everything. It's crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a skill set, isn't it? I guess once you're well rehearsed and practiced within the console controls, then you can do everything you want with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's what I liked about seeing this mech is that it's proving that you can do it. You just need to, you know. Or any Xbox players here as well in the chat, like, and if you are, it's like multiple questions here. How many people in the chat are, you know, either on PlayStation or Xbox, and you use a controller? And if you do, like, is it fine? Are you actually playing just fine? You're doing everything, like, no complaints? Like, well, it's fine, yeah. Because for me, yeah, I guess just the speed it's so hard for me to imagine getting to the same speed level. But I would love to hear from community members. I mean, I'm assuming that it's just fine if you're good at it.
Yeah, I think it's just a skill, isn't it? I think if you're good at it, you can build with the only thing that I'm really tempted to do with a controller is to film things with a controller, because I think if I could get the hack of filming with some of the trailers and some of the short bits.
For sure.
Yeah,
it's a good hack. Well, I've done that. I've been there, done that.
Super smooth. Yeah, it'd be super smooth, and things would. It'd be also easy to make quicker videos as well, because you can just jump on the controller. Because the amount of times that I've knocked the mouse or I've fingered a button and then the camera goes out of whack. But yeah, the replay tool is a really powerful thing, you guys. I recommend checking out if you ever fancy building your own shots or whatnot with the Space Engineers.
Oh, it's John Wax saying it's a skill issue. Outrageous. Yeah, I believe so. I actually believe it's true, though. Space Engineers on Xbox is easy. It's cope. Oh, wait, what's that, bud? Now, I did see something come up here, Aaron, and I want to address it.
Okay.
Bard reminded
Let's
me.
go.
So, one of the things is about accessibility. And do you have any news on accessibility improvements for either SE1 or SE2?
Ooh, so there's there's loads of bits we can talk about here.
Okay.
We could be going on for a while. So I think the first thing is talk about controls. So the controls of Space Engineers 2 are different than the Space Engineers 1. Now, the Space Engineers 1 team have integrated the SE2 controls into SE1. So if you want a smoother transition, you can move the controls over. So you can start learning or have the same control set in both games. So that's the first thing about accessibility. But the idea with the accessibility, are you talking more in terms of controls, Joel?
No, I was talking more in terms of like, you know, this conversation about like another one that's come up over many years now is like colorblind settings and things like this. But I don't know if you have any insight on this. And like I can say in the past, it's definitely come up. I can't say why it's never happened. It's always for us an issue of resources. That's not a good reason that it hasn't happened, but yeah, I mean it's you know these things it affects a lot of people. So I mean I definitely think it's definitely something that would be really important to have. I don't have any kind of pulse on the finger on the pulse in terms of where we're at with that, especially with SE2 because again it's just like, you know, not clean slate, but still.
Well, I know the team are working on it behind the scenes. They're trying to make it as accessible as possible, where at the same time they're trying to get the core features implemented into the game there as well. So more accessibility options will become available as the game develops further. So some of the features you are seeing are like the first version of that feature. So accessibility is something that will be probably developed into them. It depends on it. The color blindness and other settings like this is something that we definitely need to have a look at. The key bindings and controls is something that we're looking into and we're trying to sort out so you guys can remap your controls. We've also got the mouse sensitivity and the mouse invert like you guys requested, but some of these additional options will take a little bit longer, and the priority of them is to get some of these bigger core features in that you guys are requesting over fixing some accessibility issues.
And it's not, again, it's also not like you know, the ideal answer, but I do think it's on accessibility, but also on just like in general, if there is things that are missing from the game and you're waiting for Keen to implement them, it's another thing where modding is going to. I mean, it's already there for SE1. And look, the whole thing of SE1 is this unbelievable amount of stuff that is added to SE1 because people want it as a feature, and they, you know, they're not waiting for the dev team to kind of make it. So this could be the same for SE2 as well. Like I think the potential of SE modding and SE2 is going to be much greater. So I think I'm really curious. Like with modding coming next week, I'm really curious just how quickly we're going to see next level mods getting made.
It's a good point as well, because the other thing is, just like in Splits's video, the rules when you come to making the mod are completely out the window. Like our team has to stick to certain set rules when we're making blocks. Like in Splits's video, you'll see that he builds a block that can clip through another block. Like that, in our mind, wouldn't be something we'd want to build because it defies the sort of physics of the game, doesn't it? Having a block that clips. But the players can then create a block with whatever rules they want, with whatever colors, whatever textures, and whatever, you know, effects or handling. So players, who knows, players might build pistons and hinges before we get around to integrating them. So it's one of them things the players might try and race us to integrate features with their mods.
Or players making multiplayer.
yeah. So because that's always the thing. That's the thing. Like players and modders are a little impatient sometimes for us to get to that stage. It's on our list and we're working through the process, our development sort of scheduling. But a player might go, I want multiplayer now. I'm going to develop a mod for it. and they can cut out all of the rest of the process that we're working on and just focus on that particular thing. Especially like mods for SE1, where aerodynamics and such stuff come into the equation, where our team are like, no, that's just a little bit of a too advanced system for space engineers, in our opinion. Modder makes it no issue at all. So this the same with a lot of features. If a player wants it, someone can mod it in, but we have to stick to our sort of design and our timeline of what we're building for space engineers too. Of course, we are influenced by the feedback of players, but still we need to build the features and create the things in an order for it to actually exist.
All good stuff. What do you guys think of what's happening right now on the screen? I'm just, by the way, I'm just curious, Aaron. Are you following? I've just been out here just like, oh, I've been kidnapped. How do they do that? They've got me.
They dropped a little cage on you and sucked you in.
I completely missed how they caught me, but I am legit. Hold on. Hold on, I'm free now. But we're just on this little platform made by Alzumi. I might delete this bigger one because of, let's see, I'll delete this one here. Try and save us some performance.
I'd love to
that helped
as well, John, but I've got to keep an eye on the chat.
No, I know you do. You definitely do.
As soon as I boot up the game, I get so distracted by playing with you. It just becomes like a bit of a play session then, rather than the interaction.
Yeah, I know. At least we're getting through a lot of builds here, just in terms of showcasing.
Aren't they?
There's so much happening.
Takeoff stuff.
Mechs and rovers and ships. All of it here, all of it happening in the server.
I like a good helicopter as well, especially when a player makes their own blades and they don't blow themselves up.
It's some sort of Ready Player One race. I see it. I see that. That's amazing. Yeah. Will there be an open house at Keen this year? Normally in like September, October there is one. Normally, again, a couple years back, I had also organized something more, I want to say community based. It was more like, it was like less official, but it hasn't happened for a bit. And I don't know, like I want to say we can do it this year. And we can always say, hey, next weekend, let's do something. But when we want to have like a lot of people, honestly, it's great. And I do miss it. Like we had I think it was 2 years back, we had a, for the, hold on. Yeah, it was a 10th anniversary. That week was incredible. Was anyone in the chat right now there for that 10-year anniversary kind of week? I'm curious. What a time. What memories. It's special, and it happens, the hype, and then before you know it's over. But I think it was before your time.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to one of these. I don't know if it was due to work or whatnot, but I saw you were hosting them, and I would love to, host another one, because it was more of like a city walk and a sort of catch up and a chat, wasn't it? And I think that's what the community really enjoys, like a catch up, meet other people who have space engineers in common with you, and kind of a way of expanding your friend base, isn't it? And also meeting some of the players that you play with in reality. Of course, there's a bit of setup involved, there's a bit of traveling involved for a lot of people as well. But when you did do them in the past, Joel, they were epic, and I think the community really did love them, especially the players that could attend them. Of course, if you're over in America or you're further away, it's a little bit harder to get to one of them things. But you streamed the whole thing as well, didn't you, Joel, if I remember right?
The earlier years, yeah, I streamed them less just because I didn't want to stream, in the sense that I just wanted to like focus on talking with the people there in person. I mean, it's always for me. Honestly, guys, for me, it's going to be 10 years working with Keen, and since September 2015, I moved to Prague.
I tell you, I remember when you got that job,
Oh, you did you? What was what do you remember?
Yeah, because from my perspective, I remember it. A good friend of mine got the job, didn't they?
Yes, that's correct.
And then next minute I was like, Joel's got the job, and I was like, oh, this is exciting. But then all we knew you as is your handler sort of name.
Sure.
And then as soon as you popped up on the streams, it was this giddy little face. It was like,
I was so young. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what's happening here? But that was perfect. That energy that you carried for Space Engineers 1 is exactly what the community needed. And the community need energy now for Space Engineers 2, Space Engineers 1, and the continued development to keep them alive and happy and excited. So it's important, just just like my role, your role, and the rest of the PR and the whole team, actually, it's key that we put a lot of energy into our development and we show to our community how passionate we are about this project. And I'm more passionate than ever. Oh, you've gone blue.
I know. I was gonna.
He's making a return. He's making a return to the past.
Let's see if I can do it. I don't know. Let's see. My voice was higher. Let's see. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Space Engineers update video. In today's update video, we have another fresh batch of bug fixes and improvements, and some exciting new features. Let's dive in. There it is.
Oh my goodness! I was projected back into the past. Because I feel like that you end up with a video voice after some time. Like I don't know what happens. You have a video voice, and that was it.
I know. I had it.
You know, one day we'll do a blue video.
I had to make an effort to alternate it, so it wasn't always the same. But then you know all about that. Hello. Oh, you've lost Aaron.
Because you've also.
I've lost you. Hold on. Oh, we've lost Aaron. Oh no, we lost the signal. Now I don't know what it is. I have been. Oh, we lost you there for a second, Aaron. Are you back, dude?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to plug myself in. I unplugged myself the other
Always
day.
got to be done. Ethernet.
Decorating, yeah.
Yeah, I was just doing an Aaron impression. Hello there.
Oh, come on! It's not like that. It sounds like Crocodile or something.
I know. I'm not. It's hard to mimic you, but the point is that yeah, no, it's for me it's just shocking. Like when I look back, I was so young, and yeah, I have to admit, guys, I'm not old, like relatively, but I feel a lot older these days. I don't. It's very hard to have the same energy that I had last year, and just in terms of in general, like I'm always these days I'm always tired.
I disagree, because I always feel like when it's like you're like a dirt bike. Let's think of it. You're on a kickstart, right? We kickstart, and off you go with the energy. But it's just like you need like a series. Like they have sleeper agents, and they have a certain word that activates them. Like I just whisper to you, Joel, like like a Space Engineers Clang 1 or something, and then you just activate and you just start.
Yeah, well, it is true. It is true. I mean, before pre-stream, it is true. I think I'm just different. I've just matured. I'll say that. I have seen some comments about exactly. That's what I like to think. Yeah. I have seen some comments. I don't know where it was. A few times about me being, what was it? It was like Obi-Wan at home or something like this. I don't know where it came from. I mean, some time ago there was, I don't know, connections of me and Obi-Wan. I don't know what it was. I mean, it's not a bad thing it's not a bad comment to have, but even recently it was something like, oh, Mom, I want to see Obi-Wan. It's like, oh, we got Obi-Wan at home, and it's like me there. Yeah. I don't know where it was. Where was that? Maybe it was. I don't know if it was on Discord, but I saw that and it got me laughing again, because it's been a while.
I also just hope the community. Well, I know the community feels supported by us as well, and I also hope they feel that they can come reach out to us and talk to us about what their interests are in the game and areas that need improvement and work and whatnot. And we're like a friendly ear as community managers over the time, where we listen. We report back, we give the feedback, and we also give them exciting opportunities to engage with the game. If we're doing that, we're doing our job well. And more importantly, like the main reason that we're in this position as well is because we're super passionate about Space Engineers, and we love it. We love it. It's a fantastic game. It's just building, engineering. It's the perfect balance for me. It's the game that I would dream of as a kid who was playing on MS Paint.
That was I was the same, but that was back in SE1. It was a massive trebuchet here. My dream was I always wanted to be able to build my own dream spaceship, and that was when SE1 appeared in my news feed. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, it's a game where you can literally build your very own spaceship, like nothing, like no other way before.
This is an interesting point, because I was talking with some of the Space Engineers 1 developers, and they were saying like, oh, we need to find this bug here and find this bug there, and it was mainly about the scripting blocks. And you can't fix everything because all the possibilities haven't been invented yet. Like, the players haven't configured a script in this way that does this. And it's the same with building a lot of things. A lot of the time, the developers look at something you guys have built and go, how the hell have they done that? Like, how could we ever predict that a player would put these blocks together in this configuration and get this result? And that's always what leads to them clangy moments. And you zoomed in just as he fired it then, Joe.
I know. Oh, did I? Okay, hold on. Let me focus in.
Yeah.
I'm all over the shot with my camera today.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, it's hard to simulate and calculate everything you guys are going to build. So trying to get this game running as smoothly as possible while you guys are going wild is always a never-ending challenge.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And it's the same with SC1 is that as well. It's like the game is so much further along than it was, obviously, 10 years ago. But every time the team, in terms of pushes what's possible, so does the community. And I think it will be this battle, you know. I won't say battle, but...
Well, the players are determined to break it, aren't they? They love breaking the game. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of satisfaction in trying to break it. And over the years, some of the breaks we've patched out with some of the things we've fixed. And other things that are, you know, when they're launching 10 billion pistons or firing a billion, you know, railguns at something, it's one of them things where, woof, that's a bit spicy.
Yeah, no, I hear you, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll always surprise me. It'll always surprise me what players build. And every time we pop up on one of these little streams or whatnot in terms of seeing player creation, yes, some players are building for beauty. Some players are building functionality. Some are actually, you know, engineering like the whole concept from the ground up. The systems, the hinges, the rotors, how things combine together. And these ships have been variation after variation. They've tried different directions. It's not worked out. They've implemented a side thruster. Like it's almost like sculpting out of clay, the way some of these ships come together. And the player, if we could have a time lapse of all these ships and seeing the player get to a point and get stuck, maybe they log off for the evening, they come back and then build the engine bay the next day. It's fascinating. It's like a labor of love building this stuff.
Yeah, I'm just taking in all the views here. I was captured again, of course.
Of course.
Space Engineers 1 feels amazing right now. Looking forward to the 207 update. I know, and just when you think the updates can't get any better, they do, right?
I'll tell you, this survival update is going to blow people's socks right off. It's like, I mean, the fieldwork blew a lot of socks off, but this one, you know, we're going to be collecting the parts. So, like, people are going to be so excited when they try and enable some of these survival features, and the next minute they farm in. I mean, the dreams of Farming Simulator and Space Engineers might just come true for some. Harvesting them crops. There'll be a whole new breed of player, though, as well, won't they? Like, we have miners out there, people that love to mine, but now we'll have farmers, players that love to farm.
Yeah, Aaron's doing the hype man now. It's true. Because my favorite line used to be like, oh, guys, this next update, this will be the best update ever. I used to say, what was the lines? Okay. John will remember.
It's because I'm giddy and I'm excited.
John will remember the lines I used to say. I used to say something like, I promise you. I promise you, there'll be... I mean, this is... But I say it because it's still true. But one of the other things I used to like saying was... I used to like because I feel like I came up with new terms to say. But one of the things used to be like, I can promise you that there'll be something for everyone in this update. But that is always true, because there's often, even if you don't like survival, you don't like, you know, combat, whatever it is, every single update, there's always blocks that can be used for building, for engineering, you know, some crazy weapons, whatever it is, for stations. So every update that comes with Space Engineers, you know, it brings something for all the players. So yeah, I used to have like my list of spiel.
Yeah, I think sometimes though it's like consuming your own supply into a degree, because you start getting a bit hyped, and then you realize you're actually hyped. But I don't know if that's the thing. Like, I am actually hyped for the next update.
Oh
like,
yeah, we are.
Farming and survival. So maybe I project that hype, like an accidental hype projection. But it's just because I want to play survival. Like, I want to farm stuff. Come on, I want to build a big combine harvester and try and farm things. I mean, I don't think it'll work like that, but I mean, you can dream, can't you? That ship's cool. How it's
very cool. Yeah, I'm just looking at these ships. This ship here is amazing. It reminds me of something, and I think it's an original build. But when I first saw it in the distance, I thought it was like the I don't want to say the ship from Aliens, but it was from something else. I think, right? Was it? It's not. It's
Oh,
not.
I
It's
know
not
what
what
you're
I. It's
talking
not. It's
about.
not what I thought it was. From a distance, I saw it like I kind of saw it like the view was
It's
like
got like
this.
an Eagle
but-
One vibe. Is it Eagle One?
Yeah, it's got a bit of an Eagle One vibe as well going on about it. But yeah, I like this aesthetic. It's nice. Space 999.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I don't know if you go back and watch some of the old series, like where people are building spaceship. Like I like a good bit of what's it called Space 1999's good. This what the Mysterons from
Prometheus. No, sorry, sorry.
Where they have that? Oh right, you'll have to tell me what this one is. Where they have like a space station and they have these fighters with one rocket right on the front. That's a big one, and then they have some vehicles on the ground that attract that launch things to intercept these UFOs that come down to Earth. And it has like it's all puppets. It was a puppet one, so it was down. It was not.
Chat, help us out. I'm blanking right now.
Yeah,
That's
but
UFO.
It was really good.
UFO.
Like, there was an era I grew when I grew up, and we had all these things, and they were all puppet shows. It was fantastic.
I think this. Maybe chat will help us brainstorm this. I think Prometheus was the Prometheus was what I was thinking of, like from like certain angles when I saw it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it maybe was Space 99.
UFO, Shadows, Thunderbirds.
Oh yeah,
Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, the Shadow was one of the groups, wasn't it, from that show? Yeah, like it's cool, isn't it? Like, and people build all this stuff back now in Space Engineers as well, and they make their own, their own secret organizations and factions, and the factions start having law to them, and yeah.
See, I wonder if there's anything I wonder if there's any sci-fi, like show universe that hasn't been built in Space Engineers.
Oh, I've got to be surprised if it hadn't.
I'm serious. I wonder.
I'll tell you which probably the most built stuff is. Do you want to guess? Does the chat want to have a guess of what was the most popular, builds that we see from a movie or series?
I mean, I'm thinking it's got to be Star Trek or Star Wars, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I think it's definitely Star Wars, 100%. Like, you see a Star Destroyer on the workshop every week.
I wonder what was if there was a because there's been quite a few different like scales as well of them. It's always hard, like that kind of style of ship. Like the ships we're seeing right now, they're not say easy, but they're more doable. Something like a Star Destroyer, that shape is just so. I mean, both. To be fair, Star Destroyer, but also you could say the same for some Federation ships or whatever. Like doing circles and doing like diagonals, which are more than. That are kind of like the slope is less than 2x1 or 1x1 is hard.
Yeah, the Star Destroyer is probably the most popular ship that I've seen built from any series or any movie, on there, because like I said, every other week. But it's a nice Dorito style shape though, isn't it? And it has a nice thruster bay. Like, I'm a man who enjoys a thruster bay. Like that thruster bay there, that circular thruster bay is really nice. Like, you've got to appreciate that.
This grey ship here.
Yeah. Like, there's lots of things. I appreciate like slopes, and I appreciate like good thruster bays. But then every now and then I get surprised, and I really like a really rectangular, chunky ship as well. So it's a bit of preference there.
This has to be one of the craziest showcases, honestly. I do a lot of this thing, Aaron. Some call me the showcase guy, but
they do. That is what they call you. You are the showcase guy. You cannot run from that fact.
But the thing is that like this, we've kind of been talking a lot and trying to answer some questions and stuff here, but just some of the diversity in the builds here and the quality of the builds we've seen here, it's actually been kind of nuts tonight, to be honest. Just you have this scene here of two ships like docking up, and then there's some smaller crafts like flying around. So it's been very interesting.
Something controversial has been brought up in the chat though, Joel.
Controversial? No, not controversy. Yeah. Tell me, Aaron.
Oh no, how the SE logo can't be made without a modded block.
Oh, someone said it. Someone said it. That was my fault, guys. I'll take the credit. I'll take the blame. Was it my fault? I don't know. No, maybe it wasn't. I
heard it actually. A really good angle on this. Apparently this is what someone said, but I know you, the creator of that little short clip. It shows the inclusivity, of using mods within our game.
There you go. Mod is love. Mod is love.
It wasn't that Joel just like, I need this shape. I'm going to have to cheat to get the shape. I tell you what, I don't actually remember who made that
Keen Software House logo. Aragath is in the chat. Aragath,
Okay.
did I do that? Like, I kind of remember building it myself, but then I'm like, I was always asking Aragath or Smoky to build it. I think it would have only been Smoky, Aragath, or myself, but I just don't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah. The other thing it does show, though, is mods are there. You can save the day with a mod. If there is something you need in Space Engineers, head onto the workshop and you can find a solution. It's like an equivalent
Oh my God,
you know,
please.
we have an app for that.
Yeah, I know. There's an app for that, yeah.
There's a mod for that.
I tell you that, Aaron, it's funny you bring up that intro thing because it's all these years later, people still bring it up, actually.
Yeah, you know what? That block, though, is real. Like, it's heavily requested. It's heavily requested. Like, people, there is a reason that block can't exist, and I forgot it off the top of my head. But I have brought this up with the team. There is a reason why that mod that block is not in the game. I might know it. I might be just spinning it here. If Brian's in chat, he might be able to help answer this. It's because, but I believe it's because if we add an extra block like that, it creates like 10 other blocks that then we need, you know, to interact with that particular block.
Yeah. Like, now we could do it simple, and you could just have. What even is it, guys? Is it 3x1, 4x1, or 5x1? But what is it? Is it like 3x1, 4x4? But you could just add it, and that's it. No variations, no kind of like blending. It would just be like, boom. It would help a bit, I guess, because that's the problem. When you want to like convert a 3x, with each one, 3x1, 4x1, 5x1, everyone you add, it actually, I could be wrong, but I feel like in my head, the number of blocks that you need for kind of connecting the other blocks together is like exponentially. The more it goes up crazy and crazy.
Exactly, and like because there is so many blocks
exponentially.
Now. Because the other thing is you don't want to build so many blocks it becomes overwhelming. Because if you go on the G menu now, a lot of new players who are getting into the game are overwhelmed already. They're overwhelmed with how to survive, how to build, and then when you give them thousands of block variants to scroll through, like I always say this, as some players who've been introduced to the game slowly introduced, and it's like, you know, like baby steps, but for a new player there's so much to build with it can just overwhelm them completely.
So it's still a bit mystery so Aragath said it wasn't them and it was before Smoky, so maybe I built that Keen Software House logo intro, or man, let you guys know it might have been like a community build. I think I definitely remember converting it, because you guys know how it like spins, right? You have it's getting welded up, and then like the kind of arrows like spin into position. I remember doing that. I remember like having it so it would spin. I think. Oh man, it was just like so long ago.
Down.
Yeah, the server is coming to an end here, I feel like.
Some lovely declarations though, like whoa. It always gets me excited. It always makes me go and build something, and then I start building and go, oh, I'm not as good as them at building. So I get 10 minutes in and like, oh, yeah, that's a nice engine bay, Aaron. We'll return to this later point.
Climb says that he heard Marek personally made the mod and built the logo. That would be a great story if Marek made like a 5x1 ramp mod, and then that was it. Made the logo, and then I'm out. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Climb, as always, for throwing the server up today. It's been a lot of fun, and honestly, Climb, I don't know how much you caught of today's stream, but it was absolutely nuts today. There was an amazing number of builds and diversity in those builds. So thank you to everyone who showcased tonight. I apologize I didn't get all the names, but it was cinema watching all this kind of come together here. So thanks, everybody. And I think we'll start to bring today's stream to a close, but we can spend some time, you know, just purely focused on the chat, I think. And Aaron's been doing it. So let me have a look.
Should we bring up some additional questions?
Yes.
I know there's some additional questions. We'll try our best to answer some of them. Some of the questions we don't have answers for, and I'll be dead honest with you if we don't have an answer for it, or it's somewhere in the development timeline, because some of them they're in the development timeline, but they're at a point in the future where our team's looking into it, or they've not quite got to that stage, so we can't answer everything. But also, just additionally, thank you guys for getting so involved in the chat today, and also all the people that came along, put their builds in, and hosting the server as well. Much appreciated. We've got an amazing community.
For sure. And we're going to see you guys soon. Next Monday, there's going to be an SE2 stream. So I think it was good. We did an SE1 stream today, SE2 stream next Monday. So plenty of streams.
Be there for Monday to find out modding. We'll see if Joel can make a mod. No, I don't think that'll happen. But like we'll have a play around with the tools, and I'll show you. We'll show you. Like this weekend, I am grinding at the modding stuff to try and work out some of the bits myself.
So we'll see a mod from Aaron on Monday.
Well, I'd love to see a mod from Aaron on Monday, but it might not happen. We've got some tutorials to try and voice over, so we'll see how far we get through that. I might get stuck, and I might need some reinforcements there as well. I'm sure the community will develop mods far quicker than I can.
Yeah, Sleed. I mean, I say I don't know if officially like I am like we'll say Aaron is like lead community manager. I'm more like at this, I'm like, how to word it? Historical community manager. Historical. I don't know if that's the word to use it. I've been around the block a long time, you know. So. No,
I'd still say you're a pivotal part of the community.
Yeah, but for real, guys, Aaron is the MVP. And if you're hitting up,
I want to say, there's
I'm hyping
a lot of our team behind the scenes
that is true.
Doing incredible stuff, like all the blog posts, all the additional answers, dealing with the mainline press and stuff. Our team is working really hard there. So I don't try and throw all the credit at me, because it's a team effort. This.
I like Llewellyn's title, lead community manager. Aaron, lead community. Zockley, the showcase guy manager. I'll take it. I am the showcase guy. This is the guy who rocks up. Wasn't Aaron a YouTuber? He might have been. He might have been a YouTuber at one point.
I was at one point, but this is I don't know. We saw this opportunity pop up. We saw this opportunity pop up, and I thought, you know what? I've been making videos about space engineers all this time. Let's get stuck in and really work with this community here.
I love it. Nah, you capping. Old school, yeah, that's me. Yeah. No, but I say any other questions? Let me see here. Any more questions in the chat? Let's have a little look. Any chance we'll get an armored cockpit that works with cameras? Like it displays the position from a camera, so you... Oh, so... Are you talking like a cockpit that doesn't have any glass? So it's like a rugged cockpit, and it relies on it basically relies on a camera to be able to see out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is what I describe as like a niche. Like this is a player's individual dream of a cockpit.
Yeah.
Like with these individual dreams, like the team have not probably thought about something like this at all. And if they have, they've gone, oh, well, how would that work? Would we have to have inlaid cameras? Then if we're having inlaid cameras, I know there's whole parts of the community that want, LCD screens with cameras in. So that ends up being, a separate thing completely. But if you do have something like this, putting them in the feedback on our support page would be the best way of getting it voted up by other players as well, to see, get our team's attention on it. But no, our team haven't looked into anything like that.
There you go. Not yet, but no, it would be nice. I mean, that kind of thing would definitely have to be one of those things that would be like a free block, because obviously for it to be tough, it would have to be
yeah. You couldn't make
pay to win.
Yeah, pay to win. That's the thing you want to avoid.
Always avoid that. Yes.
Because there's the other question about sockets in blocks. So are they meaning like?
I think ball joints. I think. Oh no.
Oh,
No. That's not true.
I think they're talking about like the the refinery has the plugins, the modules, so you can increase, the performance.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's like upgrades.
Yeah, I know the team have looked at that in the past, but I don't know where they are with it at the moment, or if they're going to plan on enhancing any of the blocks further. I know they're quite happy with how it works with the refineries and the assemblers, and a skilled player can optimize their refinery and assembler quite well to produce a little bit more effectively.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how many submissions have you received for the fieldwork bunker competition, or if you can even say, Aaron, how's that going? Because I'm not sure if we had the opportunity to talk about that much, because it was announced, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to shout
we
that
can
out.
talk about this. Hold on one second. I'll just quickly bring it up so we can see. Well, not so we can see, but so I can tell how many we've got in. So I've got a little subfolder in the community email, and we've got a total of. So we've got around 15 complete entries. There's also a number of entries that are semi-complete, where they're more questions and what they can submit. So there's 15 complete ones assessed. And I have to say, from looking over some of these pictures, they are incredible. But at the same time, if you guys want to get a build and get it into the field bunker competition, get it in, get it submitted, and we'll be looking through them and assessing them. But there's still plenty of time left.
Yeah, that's a good point. So obviously, guys, there's some awesome prizes. You got some solid merch as well as keys, if you just in case you're missing them. And it looks like there's going to be 10 winners selected, and you have until 10 days, right?
Yeah, you know what? I have got a video that someone has submitted. If you'd like to preview,
let's do it. Let's have a look.
I'll quickly send it over to you. I'll put it in the streaming channel. So this is one of the submissions a player has submitted. They have got their Expedition 12 cinematic trailer.
All right, so we're gonna put this on stream, are we?
Yeah, we
Let's
can
bring it up. It's a nice. So, you know what we used to do? It's funny that we used to do a video at the end of all the streams. Because there's always community cinematics out there, so we used to do this.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should bring it back. Let me have a look. All right.
Yeah, because initially, while Joel's bringing that up, I'll say, like, if you are struggling with your build, take a minute away from it, come back to it, look for inspiration, Google bunkers. That's something I like to do. Google the different bunkers, the design layouts, what sort of things in them. There's lots of 60s bunker designs where they've got little carts that roam around through the corridors. We've seen the Austin Powers one where he gets the cart stuck vertically in a bunker. There's loads of good inspiration out there for what's going on. But yeah, so if you want to submit a video, you can do. That's additional, but really we're focusing on just reviewing the actual build itself. The additional sort of cinematic content just adds a layer of excitement and fun.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is, Aaron, I'm actually going to download this and I'm going to play this at the end of the stream here. All right. And this will be our finisher, I think, what we'll do in a second here. So
yeah.
Again, would like to thank that's right. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us on today's stream. And thank you to Aaron for joining us as well, as always.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm wishing you guys a great weekend. But also, just the reminders, as always, support site, socials, Discord, get involved, get stuck in. And, I like to think that most people here right now are probably part of this, part of all that. But just in case you're new, obviously, guys, get stuck in. When it comes, the feedback is super important for both SE1 and SE2, and we say it every week, but it never gets old in the sense that in terms of its importance. So, yes, fantastic.
Yep. So quickly wrapping that up, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, that is the best place you can go to get all your information. Make sure to stay tuned to our socials. We've got Instagram, we've got TikTok, we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got pretty much everything. Especially on the Instagram and TikTok, you'll see little leaks being put out on the YouTube as well. Check out the shorts. We've got lots of tasty SE2 leaks happening there, as well as all the additional content. If you want to give us some feedback, especially for Space Engineers 2 and its development, jump on our support site, leave bug reports, leave a bit of feedback, and really help Space Engineers 2 in terms of development. And of course, you can do the same as well for Space Engineers 1. So that's my piece right there.
Perfect. And I just linked the competition, just in case you guys missed it. In case you missed the competition news, please do get involved, guys. 10 days is enough to still get something built, so go for it. All right, let me just see here. Hello.
Plenty of time.
Still trying to get this video prepped, and then we can head out.
Okay.
All right, let me see if it's going to work. If it's not going to work, I'll just play it. Let's see. My thing is not working.
Pop that in there. I always love having the time in Space Engineers, into like a default browser in YouTube and just see what new things have cropped.
Oh, yeah. Without, what do you mean without any algorithm
Yeah,
shenanigans?
like I'd love to jump on a Zero video and see what speculation is occurring. Or
Oh.
we'll see a bit of the is it Digger Rock? Digger Rock was built the fighter the other, well, it's been a few months back, but that's still up there on top of YouTube. The intro to modding dropped 5 hours ago as well, if you're interested in getting stuck into that.
Yeah, well, I was multitasking. Yeah, there's great. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think we've got to get back to putting up. I mean, yeah, some of this stuff is official videos, but I would love to get back to showing some cinematics. I'm just thinking, Aaron, it's okay. We shouldn't keep this video for like when we do the results, right? Or you think it's okay to have one now?
I honestly think it's fine to have one.
All right, we'll do it then.
We've
We'll do it as the finisher.
We're not releasing a winner. We're just encouraging people to take part in the competition. And
Okay,
giving them
great.
some inspiration. So yeah, if this one does win, then it'll be all the information will be out there. But this is just an entry for the moment.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you guys are going to be in for a treat then. It's going to have a nearly 4-minute video here for this. This is by, actually, it's by Commander Exorcist, who is in the chat right now. So that's very cool.
Oh.
So, Commander Exorcist, get ready. Your video's in the way. Actually, as you're here, Commander Exorcist, do you give us permission to show your video on stream right now? They're here, even better. Rare. And I think that I saw them react in the chat a second. Oh, winky face. I'll take the winky face as a yes. Great. Well, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Get stuck in with Space Engineers 1 or 2. And we will see you very soon. Oh, just in time for my cat to meow.
Ooh, great. Perfect.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Enjoy the video. Bye. Commander Exorcist, amazing work. I know we're off the air, kind of half here, but just watch this fantastic video, and yeah, just great work, and looking forward to seeing all the rest, and wish good luck to everybody.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.